So I randomly bought this figure over the weekend, and I might have some regrets. This might just be one of the best anime or waifu figure brands out there. Hello everyone, today I want to take a look at a girl who knows how to get her hands dirty, and also clean out my bank account. Mechanic Fiona PA007 from Hasuki's Pocket Art series is the 7th figure in the 1/12 scale line. She comes in a fully plastic box with some card inserts displaying shots of the figure. I do like the design of the box, it's nice and simple and a bit different from your standard figure box. Inside there are 3 layers of plastic trays with the main figure and accessories on the top, the supplementary accessories and miscellaneous items in the second tray, and the stand parts in the last tray. This is what the figure looks like. She feels good in the hand and feels a little bit heavier than your average figure. She's got an earthy orangey colour palette, which makes her green eyes really stand out. She is slightly heavier than Eileen and about the same weight as Miku. Then again, I am just freehanding it, so whatever. First things that'd probably catch your eye are of course her head and lower half, as there's not much going on in the middle there. Rightfully so, the details of the head and outfit are extremely well done, and the more plain tube top bra kind of thing provides a good balance to the overall aesthetic. The hair is nicely sculpted and much better than their previous figures, to be honest. The goggles do look good, and the bottom of the boots have detail as well. Look at all the little stitching and straps and buckles and just details all around. I've not properly handled a figure with fabric or soft goods before, but this is quite impressive. Everything scales well and looks quite realistic too. Additionally, the buckles do work, all the ones on the overalls and the ones on the belt harness thing. The pockets all work, which is a completely unnecessary detail, but it is very cool. The brown leather belt will shed bits of fabric here and there though, but I don't really see it as a bad thing, as it somehow kind of adds to her mechanic vibe. Unfortunately, some parts of the leather which were glued together seem to come apart quite easily, or maybe I was too rough with it when trying to, remove her clothing. It wasn't really a good way to say that. We'll talk about that a bit later. Anyway, nothing a little glue can't fix. The rest of the soft goods, which are stitched together, seem to be quite sturdy. On the topic of details, in case you're wondering, now is not the time for that. Let's take a look at accessories first. Here is what she comes with. 2 alternate faceplates, making 3 total. The expressions on these are fantastic. She has her default somewhat smug face with a semi-cat mouth. An excited, sparkly-eyed expression. This one is super cute and detailed. She has a little gremlin fang too, which I think really suits her. Lastly, she has an oh no, embarrassed or tearing up kind of face. Also very nice and detailed. You may also notice that her irises are slightly recessed. I guess it helps with perspective from different angles. Speaking of which, similar to Snail Shell figures, most Husky figures have movable eyes as well, and they can be moved using this little stick. The variety of possible expressions are of course hugely multiplied by this. She has 3 alternate pairs of dirty hands, or 4 total. The dirt in this instance is a positive detail and adds to Fiona's character. She is a mechanic after all. Unfortunately, she has the same slanted wrist design as Eileen. Fortunately, Fiona's feel a lot better and do come off easier, but not to the point of being loose. She has her default fisty hands. She has holdy hands, one open and one enclosed. These are for holding different things. She has relaxed open hands, and she also has open kind of grabby hands. These can be used to hold her pliers. Fiona's gloved hands are pretty big compared to standard figure hands, but there is something cool about them, which is that you are able to remove the whole glove. Borrowing hands from similar sized figures, you'll be able to give her more of a casual look. You can also do head swaps with similar sized figures with some light modding. She has a pair of pliers and a screwdriver, also very detailed. She has a wrench, and you can turn these bits too. Finally, she has her welding pack thing with some different attachments, some pipe tube things, a mount so that she can wear it. She has welding and cutting attachments, and different flame parts as well. This pack seems to be a slightly altered and recolored version from the one that PA001 has. But that's okay, I'll probably never get that figure. Ugly faceplates. Overall, Fiona comes with a nice variety of accessories. No weapons per se, but she could probably just use her wrench or screwdriver or something. It would have been nice to have an alternate hairpiece without goggles, and there's also no spare joints. Almost forgot, she also has a stand as well. For articulation in her standard look, her head turns all the way around, but be careful of her right side hair. She can nod and looks down well, but her back hair limits her looking up a little bit. She can tilt her head quite well. Her side ponytail and ribbon thing are stuck together, but they can move a little bit. Her arms have a good range of motion. She's able to reach forward quite well, even without a butterfly joint. Her elbows move like this, and spin all the way around as well. Her gloves and wrist guards swivel. Her gloved hands can't really move much besides rotate. It kind of depends how far up on the arm you push her wrist guards, but some angles may look funny. One thing you can do is take the wrist guards off for more motion. Her upper torso doesn't move too much. It has some slight backwards and forwards tilt, a little bit of rotation, but hardly tilts side to side. Her lower torso or hip has good movement. She can tilt back and forth, sideways, and swivel quite well. Now let's see how the soft goods do. For leg movement, she can kick up like this. She kicks back this much. Spread is okay. I wouldn't try to stretch the pants too much though, just in case. Knee movement is excellent. You can rotate her boot flappy things, and her feet move like this. She has toe articulation too. If you're wondering what she looks like under the pants, well, me too. Anyway, for size comparison. Just kidding, let's take a look. I actually really struggled with this the first time, and it felt like she was gonna rip her pants. But with some patience, she can wriggle out of them, and this is what her base body looks like. Articulation is of course a little bit better like this. And if you're also wondering, yes, I wonder if all Hasuki figures have this same level of detail. In all seriousness though, Fiona's joints are very nice and easy to move, but not loose. And the plastic feels good as well. Sometimes I feel that Figma and SHF joints, new and old, can be a bit funky. Even though she has a stand, she of course can balance well by herself with her big ol' booties. Fiona stands at 15 centimeters tall to the top of the head, or about 6 inches. To the top of her ribbon, it's about 15.5 centimeters, or 6.2-ish inches. In 1/4 scale, she would be about 180 centimeters, or 5'11". Her boots add about 3 millimeters, or 3.6 centimeters in full scale, so she's about 176 centimeters, or a little over 5'9", I guess. Here she is next to Bunny Girl Eileen, Lance Reiter, Arknight's Chen, UMP9, 30-Minute Sisters Rishetta, Azura Ninetails, Shiroko, Freerin, Nikkei Stands, and Gatchamem. Going into this with no expectations, I'm actually very impressed with this figure. The details are excellent, the design is fantastic, and despite not being my usual aesthetic, she's definitely grown on me throughout this review. Price-wise, she retailed for about 10,000 yen, or about $70 US, which I guess is in line with higher priced Figma and a bit more expensive than standard SHF stuff. Quality and accessory wise, she's definitely in line with or even better than both, depending on your preferences. Objectively, Fiona is an all-round great figure, and I definitely look forward to more Hasuki stuff in the future. Speaking of which, do check out these other videos. Thanks for watching, take care, have a good one, and I'll see you again next time.